They say the ring chose its bearer, that it reached through fire and shadow, seeking hearts it could unmake. But what if the truest test was never meant for the mighty? What if it was meant for one who did not seek greatness at all? This is the story of Samwise Gamgee, the humblest of hobbits and the best ring bearer of them all. Sam was born to the earth, hands roughened by roots, heart steady as stone. He knew the patience of growing things, how to wait through winter, how to hope through drought, how to tend a seed you may never live to see in bloom. He was no scholar, no knight. He did not dream of distant lands or ancient wars. He dreamed of gardens, of laughter beneath the party tree, of a pint with friends when the day's work was done. And that, perhaps, was the secret. For where others dreamed of glory, Sam dreamed of a good harvest. Where others coveted crowns, he cherished mornings. He never meant to leave the Shire. He never meant to walk into legend. But love has a way of calling even the quiet into peril. Eavesdropping, they called it. But fate has odd manners, and it listened when Sam pressed his ear against that window. He was caught, yes, but Gandalf did not curse him. He smiled, for even then, perhaps, the wizard knew. This hobbit's heart would hold when all others failed. The ring had seen kings fall. It had drunk the pride of Numenor, the wrath of Morgoth's heir. It had turned wise men into ghosts and heroes into monsters. It whispered to elves, to men, to wraiths who were neither. But when it turned its gaze toward Sam, it found something new, something it could not understand. There was no hunger in him, no greed, no ache for power or vengeance. He did not crave to rule, he wished only to follow. And in that small wish, there was strength beyond measure. Every step he took was for someone else. Every burden he bore borrowed from another's pain. And that, more than all swords or spells, was what the ring could never master. For how do you corrupt love that asks for nothing in return? Frodo was chosen. He bore the burden first and longest. And in him, the ring found fertile ground, not of wickedness, but of will. Frodo sought meaning in suffering, purpose in endurance. But the ring fed on such purpose. It turned devotion into obsession, pity into possession. And still, Sam walked beside him. He could not read the elvish tongues. He could not fight as Aragorn or think as Gandalf. But he understood the heart that was breaking beside him. That was enough. He saw the ring eating away at his master's soul. Slowly, silently, like a frost creeping across green leaves. And still he did not leave. When Frodo grew sharp, Sam grew patient. When Frodo faltered, Sam waited. When Frodo's hope failed, Sam's would not. For Sam's courage was not in the swing of a blade. It was in the patience of the gardener who tends a dying flower, believing it may yet bloom again. There are moments when even the smallest heart must stand alone. When Frodo fell, poisoned and still, Sam faced a choice that no one prepared him for. He could not fight the spider. He could not heal the wound. But he could not leave either. In that silence, he looked upon the ring, and the world seemed to tremble. It was heavy, even in his small hand. He could feel it whispering, offering him the same power it had promised to kings. He saw, in a flash of thought, himself mighty and tall, Samwise the strong, master of Mordor, savior of all. And then he saw Rosie's face, and the vision crumbled like dust in the wind. For Sam did not dream of thrones. He dreamed of rosy cotton and the taste of strawberries. He dreamed of the Shire. And so, for love of those small, ordinary things, he did what the mighty could not. He bore the ring and did not fall. It is a strange thing that the same ring that devoured empires could rest for a time in the palm of a gardener. He did not use it to command. He used it to endure. Where others saw power, Sam saw duty. Where others reached for domination, he reached for a friend. In him, the ring's reflection turned dim, for it could find no purchase in a heart rooted in love. The great paradox of the Third Age is this: that the strongest will was the one that never sought to be tested, that the true conqueror of the ring was one who wished only to go home. When Sam finally reached the fire, the ring still did not own him, but he knew deep in that quiet heart that it was not his to destroy. He had carried the burden, yes, but it was Frodo's fate to end it, and so he gave it back. He did not argue. He did not demand to finish what he had begun. He simply knelt and trusted love once more. It was trust that unmade the ring. Not sword or flame, not war or wrath, but the steadfast faith of one hobbit who would not let another fall. In that storm of ruin, Sam did not think of glory. He thought of the hill, the kettle, the sound of rain upon the garden path. He thought of home, of laughter, of the smell of tilled earth after rain. He had been to the very edge of creation, and all he wanted was to go home. Many speak of Frodo's sacrifice, and rightly so, but Sam's was quieter and longer. For while Frodo sailed into the west, Sam remained to mend what was broken. He restored the Shire not with power, but with care. He healed the land as he once healed a friend. And in every seed he planted, a piece of Mordor was undone. There was no crown for Samwise Gamgee, no Song of Kings. Yet in the memory of Middle-earth, his strength endures, not as might, but as mercy. He had seen the worst of the world, yet still believed in goodness. He had touched despair, yet still chose to love. And in that choice, he proved that even the smallest light can outlast the deepest dark. It is said that at the end of his days, Sam too took ship into the west. Some say the sea accepted him as one who had borne the ring, though only for a little while. But perhaps it was not the ring that gave him the right, but the love that once defied it. For love, uncorrupted, is the ring's truest opposite. It binds without possession. It endures without desire. Sam's heart was never conquered because it was never closed. And when all the great deeds of the world are dust, his name will still be spoken in wonder. The gardener who carried the fire and never let it burn him. Frodo bore the ring to its ending, but Sam bore Frodo. One carried the burden of the world. The other carried the heart that kept it from breaking. Power tempts the proud, but it shatters upon the simple. In the end, it was not the might of men, nor the wisdom of elves, nor even the pity of Gandalf that saved the world. It was a gardener's hands, steady, gentle, and unafraid of dirt. They said the ring could rule all hearts, but there was one it could never rule, because that heart already belonged completely to someone else.